Sup, dudes? Oh, Bryce again. Hopefully this is the last time I have to do an intro. We all love Daniel's intros. Everyone knows that. It's calm. It gets you ready for a podcast. This voice that I have does not do that. I'm okay with that. I understand it. However, I did force Daniel to record an episode, send it to me from Germany because I am demanding. I need to have this done. And plus, I just miss my homie's voice. He's my best friend. When you're friends with someone your whole life, that's it. All right. Hope everyone enjoys it.
Okay, so this is kind of awkward. We're all of one episode into the new season, and we're going to break format a little bit. I am contractually obligated to tell you that this is 100% my fault, in that I am still in Germany, and I was supposed to watch the next movie and then set up a time with Bryce when we could record, and I just, didn't. Turns out when you're working 7 hours ahead of the rest of your company, a lot of your evenings end up being calls and meetings and stuff. So not a lot of free time to work with throughout the week. And then on the weekends, Sarah and I have made it a point to try and go out and explore and take advantage of being somewhere else and all that. So anyway, this is not going to be a review of a specific movie, but rather kind of an update on a few different things that I hope you will find entertaining and will hold you over until next week, and that you won't unsubscribe before our next normal episode. So, quick update. Number one, Bryce and I previously talked about the upcoming movie, Don't Worry, Darling. And we were really excited about it as one of the 2022 kind of spiritual successor to Get Out type movies, where this one was supposed to have a lot of crossover appeal. It had, the hot new director in Hollywood, who is Olivia Wilde, who is, getting rave reviews on all of her previous work. It has a bunch of up-and-comers as far as the casting goes, and it has sort of that retro, almost like 1950s sci-fi feel towards it. So, we were super hyped about this, and we really hoped a lot of people would see it and that it would do well and be another example of kind of a new horror movie that's getting a lot of popularity that isn't just a sequel to a horror franchise that we've seen a million times. But then the Venice Film Festival happened, and wow, apparently this movie has been an absolute disaster. There has been all kinds of infighting among the cast, and people who were maybe going to be in the movie and then weren't in the movie, and then people who dated while making the movie and made things awkward for other people, and then maybe someone spit on someone on camera at one point. So basically this has gone from us being excited about a new movie to us kind of watching a slow train wreck. And I guess the only thing I really have to take away from this, because I don't actually care about any of the drama, is that maybe this will get this movie on a lot more people's radar than it was before. And it will end up having a lot of people see it who might not have otherwise. And it will end up making a lot of money at the box office and be another example of a horror movie that is sort of new intellectual property that can do well. And people will keep investing in making more of those because that's what we like. Up next, Amazon is bringing us a remake of the horror movie Goodnight Mommy from 2014. The Amazon Prime Video remake will be out on September 15th of 2022, and I personally am looking forward to it. It stars Naomi Watts, and I think based on just the reviews that I've read, it will capture a lot of the creepiness and awkwardness of the original movie. And I'm so here for that because I like the original. It was one Bryce and I reviewed in a previous episode. You can go back and listen if you want. I would recommend going back and watching the original version because, like I said, it was just super creepy and good visuals, all around interesting movie that is worth watching. And then finally, I have a little bit of foreign correspondent news from right here in Berlin, Germany. And that is that tonight, Sarah and I went to, I guess, what you would call an art installation called Monster Cabinet. And Sarah originally heard about this from the Atlas Obscura website, which is a really cool thing to check out if you're traveling. but this is an underground experience, I guess you would say, hosted by an art collective called Dead Chickens. And the best way that I can describe it is like real life Tim Burton cyberpunk Fraggle Rock. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, then if you ever find yourself in Berlin, check out Monster Cabinet. I also got a horror-inspired tattoo today. It's like an old-school sailor or a scuba diver helmet with a skull inside of it. And I'm super happy with it and excited about how it turned out. And I got that from a guy named Mike Up at a shop called Berlin Inc. And you can follow him on Instagram. I think his name is just mike.up. But his work is really cool. He does a lot of like surrealist black and gray type tattooing that is just cool and somewhat compatible with horror imagery, I guess you might say. I, at this point, am just stalling for time because Bryce gave me a minimum amount of time that I needed for an episode, and if I keep talking, I may just, well, hit it. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you listening. I apologize for the lack of a movie review this week, and all I can say is we'll be back to normal next week. Thanks. Bye.
And that's it for today's episode. If you've listened this far, then thank you, and we hope you've enjoyed it. We're always looking for new ideas, so if you have any questions, comments, or movie suggestions, please send us an email at thehorrificpod@gmail.com. Or feel free to comment on or message our Facebook page. Just search for The Horrific Podcast. Thanks for listening.